secret weapon. What's this secret weapon of yours? You want to know? You gotta think scientifically, okay? Alright. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal. Not all of them. Right? Any questions so far? No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart. Oh, what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da! A metal detector. Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you wanna give a scientific investigation a go? Huh? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. Yeah, it's pretty boring after a while. Hey, give it a try. I don't know. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not? Play forensics expert, may as well. Come on, pal. It's good fun, I'm telling you. Alright then. Guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. It's so sensitive you could make it cry. It's so high-tech, you could skydive off it. Oh, bother. So now I'm gonna tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. Alright, so first, let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector's signal bouncing off of something metallic. Next, move the detector around and give this courtyard a good looky-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you hit something metallic. And press the A button. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden from sight too. Take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious, okay, pal? Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference? Looks like a normal ladder to me, pal. Surely everyone knows the difference. I mean, they're pretty ordinary objects. I met plenty of guys like you, always picking on the smallest details. The vegetable store guy near my place does it all the time. He even corrects me when I ask for a head of lettuce. That's a cabbage, he says. I'm telling you, they're the exact same thing. No, they're not. They're completely different. You have to plant both of them firmly in the ground before they can grow, don't you? Listen, you gotta take a step back and look at the bigger picture sometimes. Otherwise, you could miss a really important clue that's advice from a pro, pal. Last person I need advice from is this guy in front of me. That's odd. That's made of plastic. It says bikini number 1 on the side. Maybe there's something under it. Hey, what's this? A badge? Aha! I've been hunting high and low for that. It's yours, detective? The thing's priceless to a guy like me, pal. Cop can't be a cop without his badge. I'm sure glad I put that dime in there now. You managed to drop your badge here of all places. I know, I bet it happened this morning. I was playing around with the sled and, stop right there. I don't need to hear any more. This looks like a wallet. Aha! That's where it's been. Oh my god. Is this place just littered with your stuff? Is it yours, detective? I'm always dropping it, so I put a bell on it. You still dropped it anyway. Yeah, but now I found it again, pal. Your wallet is completely empty. Well, I drop it all the time, so I don't put money in it anymore. Then how come the metal detector picked it up? Must be because of the bell, I guess. That's the next to the golden statue that wasn't the real murder weapon, pal. Yeah, I know. Just thought I'd check it again anyway. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Do you know about the sword? It's supposed to represent the multiple branches that life can take, all ending as one. Yes, I heard something about that. You know what I think about sometimes? What kind of life I'd be leading had I not joined the homicide division. Think about that kind of stuff, detective. Of course I do. Think about it a lot. Me as a traffic cop, me as a detention officer, me as a blue badger. Something to be said about the human value of Gumshoe as the blue badger. Looks like there's something round buried in the ground here. Don't touch that, pal. Huh? What is it? It's a trap. People set them out to catch us detectives. They're real nasty. A trap? For detectives? You mean like those fierce traps with sharp teeth that are supposed to snag your leg? Yeah, those. Got my finger caught in one of those. Your finger? There's this bit of cheese and it looked so tasty. I reached out and then bam! I'm not sure I know how to respond to a story as stupidly pitiful as that. Okay. I was thinking, like, that's the last thing I've got to check, so it's like... Why would this be metal? This is Miss Duanim's staff, isn't it? Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood. But the detector is reacting to it. Yeah, but however you look at this, this thing's made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it might be metallic. Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find where you, like, metal you can't see? It's weird that this thing is causing a racket. Yeah, let me take a look at it. Hey, hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the... There, the top is coming off. What you've done, you've damaged a really important piece of evidence. There. Oh my, that's a sword. Inside the staff. Is this... Could it be... the murder weapon? Oh... I never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff. You call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal? This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot. I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. The real scene of the crime was in the inner temple. Gotten. Then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Gumshoe. Who knows about the hidden sword? No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. And I guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh? No, no, no. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder. Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal. It's about the same length as the spiky sword, too. This must be the murder weapon. Okay, I'm gonna run over to forensics. There's got to be some traces of blood left, even if most of it has been wiped off. See you later, pal. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight. Wait up, detective. Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know? You're going to get that stuff analyzed, right? Do you mind holding off for just a while? Huh? What are you talking about, pal? Please. Just until we find Maya. Maya? What's this got to do with her? I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. Oh, how so? Look, Maya's trapped in the sacred cavern right now, and... well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel. You don't think... Maya's been Please, detective, let's just wait until we get inside the sacred cavern. You're looking kind of Viridian there. Okay, just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. The staff's secret trick. Let's keep it between you and me, alright? Alright. Because then, whoever does know will let that slip, won't they? If it gets out that we knew about it and didn't say anything, we're finished. I understand. This is just a regular run-of-the-mill staff, you got it? Okay. You take good care of it, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry. She'll be fine. Gumshoe. You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal? Sure. Thanks. Victim staff received from Detective Gumshoe for safekeeping. Can't help but wonder, though. What was Elise Duanim doing with a staff like this in the first place? Yes. Also want to have a look at... So yeah, be careful once night falls, should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Wait, there's more. Her name is... She is our... the whole... Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is... Burn the... Also make... Tell anyone about this letter. Bravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. Okay. Let's go speak to Pearls. Because I assume that letter is what we needed. February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Look at that. They really did make a fire right in front of the shack. Oh, Mr. Nick. Huh. You're too late, Nick. If you came here for one of the potatoes, already polished them all off. I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. What is she hiding? So let's go straight into the Magatama. The night of the crime. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Duanim's room reading a book together, correct? Yes, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end. Let's get to the point we were at, though. We need to say she was at the inner temple. She went over there for Maya. I think I know why. The reason you were so worried about that bell, there you go, was because of this letter. You were given some instructions to follow that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper. Ah, where did you... In the incinerator at the inner temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell. I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing. These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls. For me, no. As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. The last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note, and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, Pearls, was... Dahlia Hawthorne. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris whose sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was? No. I never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions. I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. So here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? It's clearly her mother. Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why. How did you? I figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Alright, Pearls. It's time you started telling me the truth. Mr. Nick, Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child. Huh? You're trying to say I followed these instructions. I'd like to see some proof. What? Because I don't think you have any. Okay. She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out these instructions. Guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you. I knew it! However, I do know that whoever did it was a child. Huh? How do you know that? It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that. A simple mistake? What do you mean by that? I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you'd been given. But you misunderstood some of the words. This is the evidence that proves it. Well, all I'm thinking then, in that regard, as we go in here, is on page 3. Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. That's why that has gravy on it. That's why, isn't it?
Take that!
It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it? What? Why do something like that? Do you remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast, among others, right? How do you know that? Remember the conversation you had with Miss Duanim on the night of the murder? Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. Well then, would you like to practice reading with me? Miss Elise? So, for example, how do you read this? It says, gravely. It's kind of a tough word. I forgot about that. Sure, Miss Duanim taught you how to read gravely and roast. What she didn't teach you is what they meant. That means Elise had read the letter. Gravely sounded like gravy to me. And the only roast I could think of was the food. And that's why you did it. That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast. To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. Guess I really did get the wrong idea. Just a tiny bit. I really am useless. No, couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked me to. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right. Yes. The night of the crime. Wait, Lost Powers has opened up even more? Although, yeah, I suppose based on what they said previously, that does make sense. After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple. A pot full of the leftover gravy. The gravy? I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I'm sure it was the Master of Karain, like it said in the letter. I see, and then? Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the inner temple guest area. The guest area? Yes. I thought I could wait there until the training was over. Why didn't you just go to the training hall? Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started, and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then Pearls, did you fall asleep? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it. Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fell asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the inner temple. Yes. When I woke up, it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore. And there was no one in the training hall. But everyone had left me because I overslept. Threw the letter into the incinerator, then I heated up the leftover gravy and let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried. It must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. It used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. Indeed. Lost powers, though. It was written right in my mother's letter. It said as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. You couldn't do it. And if you couldn't do it, there's only one person I think could do it then. Because she had read the letter. Right? Like, Elise had read that, like Misty, whatever. Elise had read the letter because of the whole Gravely thing. So she knew about the incident and knew what was going on. So what happens if someone else channels Dahlia before someone else? So like, what if Elise, Misty, was channeling Dahlia and that's why Pearls couldn't do it and she thinks she's lost the power? When she hasn't, she just couldn't do it because someone else was doing it at the time. A ghost can't be in two places at once. I know this is scientific fact. It said as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring. So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit? No. I tried, but I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it? I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. Tried and tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. But I just couldn't do it. Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. Why can't you do it now, though? If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that. So she never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone? Yes, I don't know what to do. Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? I suppose there's one other possibility. Not very likely, though. Could you please tell me what it is anyway? Could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Yes. Yes. Someone else? What do you mean? Well, there's only one of each spirit, right? Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. What? Then that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Elise did to save Pearls. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. So then someone... What? It's like, okay, yeah. There's something missing. There's like a link somewhere. And I feel like the link is going to be Gadot somehow. Because we know he was there based on like what he said or all the stuff we've been through previously. Like he clearly was involved and was there somehow. He's the one who cleaned up everything. But what happened? Oh, there's something there. I'm a failure. Couldn't even grant my mother's final wish. A final wish? Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully. This letter. Definitely need to find out more about it. Morgan's letter, obviously, yes. My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary. Yeah, I know, Pearls. I visit her every month. Last month she told me. The time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden. So that's why we went there. My mother is always nice to me. I love her very much. Yeah, moms will do anything for their kids, right? She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick? I guess so, yeah. There was a picture with her letter too. A picture? Of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time... Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff. There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before. This is all gonna be a case of, like... Mystic Misty, Elise, whatever you want to call her. She knew of this ahead of time and she planned it all out. So she could save Maya. And Gadot was in on it? Is what I'm thinking. And that's why he's upset with us, because we've messed up the plan slightly. Because now we're revealing, like, truths that were trying to be hidden, sort of thing. That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already. But letter updated in the court record. Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out. You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright. Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Huh. Speak of the devil. Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is. Gadot. The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like freaking puzzle workshop. Guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect Mia Fey. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realized that, but I knew you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know anything about what was going on. Huh. What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow. We'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all. Mr. Nick? Is what that man said... just said true? They'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow. Yeah. That's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick. Ooh, I'm liking this case. My dear Pearl. You've done so well, my child. My Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come. For you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now finally, after all this time, the master seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time. To be continued. February 10th, 9:39 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, Number 1. Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself? Morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those tricked locks in the training hall? No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. Then who... But... Did she need to be here? Can't you get like a Zoom call going on? Like... She's required to be here in court. And then... how come she's not here in the defendant lobby? I have to admit, it's kinda strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Why? Edgeworth? What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? It's gonna be Gadot. I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Gadot? Gadot? Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. It's very much like Gadot is still trying to help Maya and Mia, like that Fey line. He's trying to help them in his own way, isn't he? And we're screwing it up. That's what's going on. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night, trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Gadot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all of this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold onto someone else. Literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Duanim. No, I mean Miss Misty Fey. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen, that's upside down. I'm still going with that's upside down. Because that explains why that single one suspension rope is not attached anymore. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. It's that sort of thing. It's like I have clues and understandings. Like we've been through it previously with like my theories while we're investigating as to what's going on. But it's like, how do loads of things tie together? That's where it's like, yeah, I am. February 10th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. I had a lovely lunch. How about you? It was quite lovely. Hey! Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you... Who? Me? Oh, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers, that explains a lot. My poor brother. He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Gadot. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Gadot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she's had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Duanim? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. See, yeah, that does fit with what I'm thinking. What? Order in the court, order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice? Accomplice? Accomplice to the murder? What are those three? Pick one. Yes, that's correct. What? 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Huh. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case it's to murder. Alright, not exactly as philosophical as you think there, mate. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? That Gadot. So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this. I mean, it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone. Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle. Or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if needed be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. Now I don't know what you're up to. It's that sort of thing, like, it made sense before when it was sort of like the idea of like, well, he's still trying to help them. And like, what? She's naming Maya? Again? What? What order in the court? Not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer. I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. Objection! That's ridiculous. I could never do... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction.